Come on, I remember that one time when you said my eyes were pretty, didn't you? Don't you remember that time?
All right, I'm creeping people out now. I'm creeping myself out. It hurts. My eyes hurt. Blue eyes, she said, pretty blue eyes. She said I had pretty blue eyes. See me again. She wants to see me again. She's such a pleasant surprise. Ooh, love, nothing else like it around. Ooh, love, nothing else like it I've found. Such a good song. Blaze is good.
Mike's music method. Come on in, everybody. Here we are. Today we are doing an amazing Blaze Foley song called Ooh Love. This song was requested by Michael Phelps. I don't know if he's the world-class swimmer or not, or just another guy named Michael Phelps. Probably the latter, but Michael, comment down below and let us know if you're good at swimming. This song is an amazing song. I knew the song before. Sky, you've pointed this song out to me before, and it is a nice song. I've always liked it. And then when I went to tab it out and I started listening again and again, it really grew on me. It's just a beautiful vocal melody in this song, and we are going to talk about that later in this video. But in terms of the picking, basically E, A, B7, simple enough, but Blaze really adds some nice color to those chords. This like A sus chord, sharp 11 chord he does is so beautiful later in the song. This one, what I really want you guys to focus on is Pima. So we're going to be using our right hand. P is the thumb, I is the index, M is the middle, A is the ring. They're Spanish words. I know they don't correlate to the English words for the fingers, but it's Pima. P-I-M-A. And I really encourage you guys to use that ring finger. We often overlook him, but this is a perfect song to put him into practice. Now at some point I'll have to break this whole myth. I've heard this a bunch where when finger picking, your thumb should be on the lower 3 strings and these other 3 should be locked in place on the top 3. Yeah, I don't like giving that advice because in Travis picking, we break it all the time. But this is one exception where I will say, oh, the advice actually does apply to this song. In general, I don't think it's good advice, but it works here because what we're going to do is our thumb will, for the most part, be playing these. And it's only because we're like arpeggiating up and down a whole bunch. Where I'm just going to encourage you guys to do I, M, A. I don't know what Blaze is doing. He might just be doing thumb, pointer, middle. But there's a lot of beautiful repertoire where if you start using that ring finger, it's worth it. Like I just said, it's not a Travis finger picked piece. If you're new to picking, I do have a Travis picking playlist. You could check that out. But this is pretty standalone. If you're a beginner player, there are going to be some hard moments, but in general, you might learn a lot even as a beginner trying to pick through some of this right hand stuff. So by the end of this video, you'll have a stronger ring finger and you'll also be able to sing and play this beautiful Blaze Foley tune. If you're new here, timestamps are down below. Use the timestamps to your advantage. I go measure by measure. If you're a more advanced player, you may not need this measure by measure instruction. Timestamp, I'll go through how to sing it and play it at the same time. That'll be here. As well as at the end of this video, I do slow run-throughs of each section, and that's exactly what the name implies, where you can play along with me at a slower tempo than what Blaze is doing it. Link down below, right underneath the video in the description. You can go to my website. It's free to sign up. I would love if you threw me a couple bucks every month, but it is free if you can't afford it. And I have the video embedded on the website, and right below it is a tab also embedded. And if you play with where the zoom is, you can get it perfectly in your browser, where you can just scroll along. I almost said stroll. It's kind of the same word, right? You can just scroll along with the tab so it matches the measure numbers. And I do make a point to always say the measure number we're at. Let's do it. Beautiful song. Gonna walk you through it. Blaze Foley's Ooh Love. Quick note that we are doing the version off the complete Outhouse sessions, not the earlier Outhouse record, but the one that just came out recently. I think it's a take from a different night or something. I think they recorded a couple nights of him playing it. There's a lot of banter in this one. They keep it because it's Blaze and he's charming. So I'm doing that version if you want to listen along with the recording. Measure 1. Gonna be a little goofy here. This intro's funny because Blaze is just kind of warming up into the song. So this intro's pretty darn loose. What we're gonna do, we're starting on an E chord, and it's up to you. You can do the full E, or you got the option of just ignoring the 5th string because he doesn't play it. So you can give your fingers a break and just play open, open, 1, 2. Right, we don't need this 5th string because he's never really plucking it. So right off the bat, we're pinching 6 and 1. And like I said in the intro, this is one of these songs where I would definitely get in the habit of using that ring finger. It's just a really great piece to just engage all of Pima here. So that's what I would do. You don't have to, but again, I recommend doing it. So I'm on that E chord, pinching 6 and 1, thumb and ring. My middle goes to the 2nd string, pointer goes to the 3rd. Now my thumb's gonna play the 4th. So the thumb's the only one that moved there. Easy enough, right? Now measure 2, we're gonna use this voicing to our advantage, right? With the big E chord, it's harder to reach because we have to get the 4th fret on the high E string. And there I'm just going 1st string, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So just adding my pinky on the 4th fret to that E chord and doing ring, middle, pointer, thumb. So those two together, 3, 4. Measure 3 is very similar to 1, but we don't have the pinch. We just have 6, 2, 3, 4, thumb, middle, pointer, thumb. Measure 4 looks like 2. In fact, it is 2. We put that pinky down again on the top E string and just descend down the chord. Measure 5 keeps going and he does 3rd, 2nd, 1st, thumb on the 4th. Measure 6, he moves to a B7 chord. I hope you all know your cowboy B7 here. 2, open, 2, 1 with the pointer finger, 2 with the middle. We're just walking through the chord again. The strings are 5, 3, 2, 3. And I'm doing thumb, pointer, middle, pointer. Measure 7, we do the 1st string, the 2nd. So I'm doing ring, middle. Then we have this cool little hammer-on part. What I'm doing there is I'm hammering on the 6th string, open to 2. So I move that 1st finger off to get the hammer on open 2 on the 6. And it's immediately followed by the 2nd string, open, and I'm doing that with my middle finger. And then my thumb hits the 4th string. And it has a triplet, it's triplet doom, triplet doom. So again, hammer on the 6th string, open to 2. Immediately to the middle finger on the 2nd string, followed by the thumb on the 4th. So that whole measure, 3, 4. Triplet boom. Yeah, really beautiful. Measure 8, just back to the E chord again, voicing it really simple. I don't need that 5th string. And here I'm doing the strings are 6, 3, 2, 4, thumb, pointer, middle, thumb. Measure 9, he either slides or hammers, it's up to you. And he lets that ring for a while, a 2 to 4 hammer or slide. And then he goes back to 2. So that's the whole measure. And then we go to the next measure. So let's put it in context though from the measure before so you can feel the rhythm. 3, 4. let's go. I think you got that slide 2 to 4, back to 2. If you're counting it, just remember, right, he holds that for a long time. So now measure 10, we go to an A chord, but it's actually an A sus2. And what I'm doing is, you think of your A chord like this. I actually am doing it like this. So I'm using middle finger here on the 4th string, 2nd fret, my ring underneath it, 2nd fret of the whatever G string, right? 3rd and 4th string, 2nd fret. And we're gonna play, our right hand's do it. The strings are 5, 3, 2, 1, thumb, pointer, middle, ring. It's easy enough. Then measure 11's kind of cool. He speeds it up at the beginning and he does 2nd string, 3rd, 4th, middle, pointer, thumb, and then back to middle and back to pointer. But the rhythm is 1 and 2, 3, 4. So pretty. Just a well-placed sus chord is gorgeous. Blaze. 12 is back to the E chord, and the strings are 6, 3, 2, 4. Thumb, pointer, middle, thumb. 13, he keeps rolling with it. 3, 2, 4, 3. 3, 2, 4, 3. Again, pointer, middle, thumb, pointer. Measure 14 back to the B7. Easy there, right? The strings are 5, 3, 2, 3. Then the next measure, playing the high E string, still on the B7. Oh, I messed that up, sorry. Here it's a little bit weird because the end of the measure, you hear a pull-off sound, but it almost sounds like a little bit more of a flub than intentional. Like it's almost like he just kind of accidentally pulls off to change to the next chord. But I wrote it as an intentional pull-off in the tab here, but listen to it and use your own discretion. But we're on that B7, we hit the top string, and then I'm hammering open to 2 on the lowest string. Then right to open on the 2nd string, so 6th string, 1st string, hammer on the 6, quickly to the 2nd, thumb to the 4th. Remember it's a triplet. Triplet boom, high string, triplet boom. And then he hits that low string again. And I'm hearing him just kind of like pull off to get to the E chord. Later in the song, he just hits it really clean. But here it sounds like a pull off. Think you get it? Here's the whole measure. So you're on that B7. Remember, we got to move that middle finger up though. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. And then right into an E chord. I did the rhythm wrong, but I think you get it. Let's actually take it from 14 so we have that whole B7 part. 3, 4.
He said I had pretty bloodshot eyes.
So 16 is just an E chord and it's 6, 4, 2, 3. 17, we're just descending the E. Right, just 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Back to the B7, and we've seen this before. The strings are 5, 3, 2, 3. Then 19, we just descended. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is our intro. Shikaboom! Now would be the perfect time to jump to the end of the video and do the slow run through of the intro. Make sure you got it rock solid before moving on.
Ooh, love.
The verse. Let's take it from 20. I'm just going to call out the chords and give you the finger numbers. But in general, you can kind of pick this however you want. I'll say this one more time, right? You're free to use whatever fingers you want. But in this song, you know, try to get that ring finger going. Just we neglect him, and he comes in handy when you're doing classical stuff, when you're playing Leonard Cohen stuff. So I would just get in the habit of using him just to build up your strength. So measure 20. On the E chord, we're just playing 6, 3, 2, 3. Then right into the next measure, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's pretty much what he mostly does on the E chord for the entire verse, with some exception. And then we go to the B7, and this is kind of the common thing he does here, which is measure 22. It's just 5, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the only thing that's different is that the E string we're starting on that 6. 6, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. B7 is 5, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's only the first hit that's different. Measure 24 and 25, same thing back on the E. Then we go to that cool A sus again in 26. And here it sounds a little different. It sounds like he's doing 5, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 28 and 29 are back to the E. Does it again. Which takes us to 32, which is the B7. And here in 33, or sorry, that was 32 before, I'm sorry. And then in 33, we got that hammer on again, which we saw before. So it's first string, second, then I'm doing that hammer, open to 2 on the 6th string. Then quickly to the second, thumb on 4. 34 is back to the B7. 36, 37 are exactly the same on the E. And we keep going. 38 is the same as 39 on the B7. 40 and 41. Back to the E yet again. Back to the A. Same way as before. So you can kind of see the second stanza of the verse is almost identical to that beginning part. And here we're in the first ending. So you got your tab and measure 48. The first time we run the verse, we do the E. He ends it slightly different in 49. Really subtle, but it is different. So it starts the same in 48. Then 49 is 1, 2, 6, 4. I don't know, just does it different there. Then 50 is the B7. 49's got that cool hammer-on part. That whole entire verse is going to repeat from 20, but instead of doing that first ending, so once you get all the way to 45, 6, 7, you won't do 48, that's the first ending, but instead you will jump to the second ending, which is here in measure 52. So he just ends the verse a little different, right? The conclusion is just, he goes to the E longer instead of the B7 there. So we have measure 52, just back to the E chord. Nothing new, right? Just lingers on the E instead of doing the quick B7 turnaround. That's it. That's the verse. You're cruising right through it. So what I would do now, make sure, jump to the end of the video. Timestamps are down below. Do the slow run through of that verse. Make sure you got it. We will sing everything in a moment, but let's run through. We have the bridge still, or the chorus, whatever you, I guess it's the chorus, the ooh, love. And then we'll do his little instrumental part before we sing it. Shikaboom, donation pitch. All you sweeties here at Mike's Music Method learning your picking. I'm asking if you would please consider donating if you aren't already. You can go over to Patreon. You can become a monthly contributor at PayPal. You can snail mail me a check, or you can just sign up on the website for one of the plans there. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys to give. And the way I want to frame this is I'm giving a lot of my time, talent, and treasure. None of this is like free for me to make, right? It's quite a bit of time. And so I just encourage you guys, if you could get aboard for $10 a month, $15 a month, $5 a month, $2 a month, whatever you can afford. That's the beauty of the value for value model. But know every dollar that you guys give, you're buying me time to put time and energy. You're buying me time to put time into the channel. And that way I can make more and more content. I mean, I want this channel, the goal and the hope is for this to long outlive me. I wish I could share. I mean, just look down below. The comments on some of these videos are so amazing, where people are expressing they're able to learn songs they never thought they'd be able to play. And so I want to keep this going, and you can help that. You can help people learn songs they never thought they'd be able to learn, and, you know, share that joy with me of helping people break through these. You know, finger picking can seem very daunting, but I'm here to break it down accurately and simply, digestible in a fun way. Whatever. If you guys are here, you know why you're here. And so please consider support. The more time you buy me, the more videos I can make. It's that simple. You know, help keep this dream alive and make it bigger and reach more people. That's it. Onward with the tune. 56, the ooh love part, whether you call it the bridge or the chorus. Real easy, guys. B7 again. Does it twice. Then in 60, it's to the E. Does it again. And then he ends it with a little more excitement here. So what is it? 61, 62, 63. The end of that E chord, it's 1, 2, 6, 2, 4. It's just a slightly, and it's faster there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that whole thing would repeat from 56. So back to the B7. Back to the E. And then the third time, he goes back to ooh love. I forget what the lyric is the second time. But the third time's a little different. So here we're in 64 in the tab. He does ooh love again on the B7. Goes back to the E. But then it changes right after he does the E. So he only does the E, 2 measures through. He does it once, he doesn't repeat it. And then we go to measure 70, which is this A sus chord. Actually, sorry, here it's a normal A major. But then he moves it. It's so beautiful, Blaze. So what we're doing here, we got a normal A chord. However you want to think about it. I'm only playing these two because we don't use the 4th string here. So I got nothing, and then 2, 2. So it's not the A sus like this, but I'm moving it towards the ground. But it's just a normal A major. We got 5, 3, 2, 1. That's measure 70. Then we slide both of those 2s up. I shouldn't say slide, because you're going to move them. You want to move them silently if you can, to 4 and 4. And they're quicker. So it's 2nd string, 3rd, thumb on 5, and I'm doing middle pointer thumb. Then he moves it back down to 2 and 2, and it's 3rd string, 2nd. So those are all on 4. The strings are 2, 3, 5. Pivot back to the 2nd fret, and then do the 3rd string in the 2nd. So for measure 70 all together, 3. Let's do it quicker. 1, 2, 3, 4. So pretty. We're doing that A, but then it becomes like a sharp 11, and the B, that's the 9. You get that really beautiful color. And overdoing it, and it becomes a totally different kind of sound. But when you the way Blaze just sprinkles it in there, it's still really folksy and rootsy because he's just giving you that color so temporarily to make it sparkle. But then he's right back into your standard kind of folk country feel. Awesome songwriting, Blaze. Great guitar playing, man. Right back to 72 is the E chord again. B7. And then in 76, back to E. You can do it normal or do that 6-4 again at the end. Doesn't matter. Back to the B7. With a cool little fill. I know on the tab I called that the bridge, but it's probably more appropriately the chorus. I mean, it is the name of the song after all, so I don't know what I was thinking. Again, slow run-throughs down below of the chorus. Get that really good. And now let's do the little musical interlude part. That has slightly a bit more color, but you're going to be fine and get through it. You're doing great. I know you are. Let's keep going. So measure 80 in the tab is what I call the musical bridge here. And we just... same chords, but we got, quite a bit more color going on. So we just start at 6, 4, 2, 4.
She said I had pretty eyes, didn't she?
This one's a really good one to imagine as just a full-blown stalker song.
Come on, I remember that one time when you said my eyes were pretty, didn't you? Don't you remember that time?
All right, I'm creeping people out now. I'm creeping myself out. It hurts. My eyes hurt. Measure 81. This transition from 81 to 82 is probably the hardest moment in the song, but there's really only one moment that's hard. Here we go. We got this E chord again. Remember, simplify because we need to stretch our pinky here. Doing the 4th fret there. Then my thumb is playing the D string, and it's the 2nd fret. So 1st string to 4th, and the frets are 4 and 2. Then I go back to the high E string, but I'm going to do the 2nd fret. So I just move that first one down to the 2nd fret. And again, I'm cheating and using my middle finger here, but you can use your ring or your middle, doesn't matter too much. Then we end with a pinch, and that top string is going to be open, but I'm still doing the second fret here. Top string is open. One more time, 3, 4. Now this is the hard part, so check that out. We're pinching on an E chord, but then very quickly I have to get to this B7 chord and do a hammer on. And the confusing thing is, like, a part of me wants to just hammer the whole chord, but that is not what he's doing. He's able to get this finger here and then hammer that one on. So I don't know how you want to handle that, because then he does go into the full B7. I'm doing it like this, so if I'm going from 81, I'm just quickly, you gotta really quickly transition to that B7. Now, I suppose there's another way he could be fretting this, but maybe not, because we do need all of them later on. But he plays all those strings at some point, at least the ones that are fretted. So again, we got this simple E shape with a big stretch. Then right after that pinch, you got to quickly get that finger there. So the way I'm thinking about it is, I'm here, I'm transitioning to this without the pinky, and then I'm going to do the pinky. So really quickly from this to that B7. So in other words, these two are going up, but I'm also adding the ring finger underneath them, right? So that's simple E, these go up, the ring finger gets added. And that has to be almost that fast, you know, like simultaneously. We're there, these go up, and then I pinch 5 and 1 in the beginning of the next measure. And my pinky does the hammer on, which makes it even a little harder. Not only do we have a super fast transition from this E to this B7, but the pinky has to do the heavy lifting. So I would just do that last measure in 81, which is the pinch, and then followed by another pinch. But how quick can you get that? So again, hardest measure, so I'll explain it one more time. After I'm doing that, I'm getting these three as quick as I can. And then pinching 5 and 1 there. And then he lets that ring, and then the last beat he's just hitting the 3rd string. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So let's do 81 to 82 real slow. 3, 4. I flubbed it. 2, 3, 4. One time a little quicker. 2, 3, 4. I did it again. 2, 3, 4. One more time. 2, 3, 4. And there was 83, and it's just, you follow through with the rest of the B7 like we normally do. 84 is back to the E. Strings there are 6, 3, 2, 4. Then he slides that 2 to 4 again like he did in the intro. Then he pulls off at the end. 2 to open. So let's do 84 to 85. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I messed that up. So in 86, it's back to the A sus4, not the weird sharp 11 one. It's just 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 4, 2, 3. Now it gets real easy again. Here in measure 88, he tells the cash register joke, and honestly, it's just the E to the B7. Back to the E in 96. But here it's weird because he does that pinky again. So it's a little different. He does 6, 4, 2, 3. Top string with the pinky down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the B7. Measure 100. Back to the E. Again, slight variation. 6, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 6, 4. Then back to the cool A part. Same exact way we did it before in this song. 106, back to the B7. And here the hammer-on thing, he simplifies it. And I don't know if he meant to, you know, again, is it intentional or is he just taking it easy? But we end that B7, we do the 1st string, then then hammer onto the 6. So we're doing it on beat 2 instead of beat 3. The first note, hammer. Then we don't do that quick open here. He doesn't do that. He just does first string, hammer, then thumb again on 4 after the hammer. So first string, 6, 4, back to 6 without the pull off. Right, it's all thumb work except for the first note. Then back to the E. E7. Ooh. And then we are back to a verse. Quick note on song flow, we go back to a verse, and then we do it with the second ending only, so we don't do a repeat of the whole verse, just the first verse with the second ending. And then he goes back to the ooh love, and here we're done with the song. Check this out. The final ooh love, he doesn't go through the whole chorus again. So in measure 113, he goes back to the chorus, but again, it's just really simplified. B7, normal. E is normal. And he just slows down and ends it on the low E. That's it. Yeah. Boom. Let's start singing it. So I don't know this melody really well. I'll be honest, guys. I just fell in love with this song very recently. Thank you so much for the request, Michael. And I know, Sky, like years ago you told me about this song. I listened and I liked it. But often when you tab out a song and you got to listen to it a bunch of times. And then I was trying to sing it earlier after I learned it. I'm like, this melody is gorgeous, you know. It also sometimes it takes actually singing it yourself to realize just how beautiful it is. So I don't know it that well. Bear with me here, but I'm just going to talk you through how I go about learning a song when I'm going to sing it and play it at the same time. This one is fairly easy, so I think you can get away with doing it because it's all pretty much downbeats. But if that's too hard, you can just strum it at first, and I always recommend starting there if you think you're struggling at all. And if you can, feel free to pick along with me. But I'll strum it just to tell you can go that easy if you want to. So let's sing it, just strum the chords. Blue eyes, she said, pretty blue eyes. That's at A sus. She said I had pretty blue eyes. There you have that boodly-doo right on that B7. See me again. She wants to see me again. She's such a pleasant, that's the quicker B7, surprise. Did I think it's back to the B7 there? You get the idea, but you can never simplify enough to make sure you are really focusing on the vocal delivery. And from there, maybe you're simplifying the pattern a little bit. I don't know what would be an easier way to do this besides going up and down. I would just try to do the actual pattern he's doing in the song. Blue eyes, she said, pretty blue eyes. She said I had pretty blue eyes. And if you miss a string, that's fine. I think I missed the hammer. Oh. See me again. She wants to see me again. You get the idea. Build it slowly. Everyone always says, how do you play and sing at the same time? I get that question a lot. It slowly. Just because you can play the guitar real well doesn't mean you're going to sing it real well. Just like you have to practice a hard picking thing a bunch, you got to slow it down, break it down, do it again and again. Same exact thing when you're learning a song. And singing it, you just got to break it down, make it simple, and do it again and again and again. But you can do it. I know you can. All right, slow runs. Let's go from the beginning here. We're going to take it to measure, 19. So let's just do the intro. 2, 3, 4. Then out of place, open. take it from 20 and just run through the whole verse here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to 20 and do the second ending. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chorus, measure 56 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Part repeats. The musical bridge, slow run. We're at about 4 minutes in the song at measure 80. 2, 3, 4. Sneaks up on me. So beautiful. Yep, I need to practice it. This is one of the things when you're practicing things and you mess up, you shouldn't be going through the whole song, right? This is a time where I'd stop, really hash out that one measure that I keep botching, play it 100 times, move it around the guitar neck, maybe transpose it or try to play the same pattern over different chords and really own it before you go back to putting it in the context of the whole song. We'd run through another verse and all that stuff, but here is just the coda from 113. Let's end it. 2, 3, 4.
Remember that one time when you said my eyes were pretty, didn't you? Don't you remember that time?
All right, I'm creeping people out now. I'm creeping myself out. It hurts. My eyes hurt.